Hi, it's Steffi from Steffi's Beads and Baubles. I have not forgotten you. I have not disappeared. We're dealing with a family emergency that I'm really not at liberty to talk about, but a family member has some health issues and I've been helping, and so I haven't been home in 4 weeks. I'm still here for a week or two more, but I did bring some basic beadwork supplies so that I could work, but I've just been wiped out and tired. I haven't been to my own house. It's just been a whole different situation. So, but I did do a vintage style ornament that I wanted to share today, and I just wanted to explain that I have not disappeared. I don't know if you can get a good look at that. The lighting's terrible. I'm used to, working in my own house, and I've just got to make do here. So, but this is a vintage style cookie cutter. It's very tiny. It's not as big as some of my normal ones, but it's a good size to hang on a tree. And I did a focal bead in the middle because I noticed that a lot of these old vintage ornaments have an indentation. Well, obviously I can't do that with the felt. I could, and I'm exploring that, but for now I just did like a center there to kind of give it a little focal point. And then I did another one because I always do one to show you how to stitch it together. This one I got a little fancier on. I'm not going to do a full tutorial on everything I did this time, but when I get home and I have access to all of my beads, I will do a more detailed one showing you how. But I can at least show you a picture. And in this one, I did the focal bead or sequin, and then I did stacked sequins in 2 circles, just to give it a little difference. And on this one I put the bugle beads instead of the seed beads, and then I'm going to show you with this one how to stitch it together. And then I started another one for those of you that have never watched one of my videos to show you how to secure the seed beads onto the ornament. Now I don't know if this is showing up on camera. I'm going to try to show you, because I've talked in my videos before about how thin this isn't going to show. This particular felt here is so thin, when I hold it up to the light I can see light through it. I had to be very careful when I secured it. And I probably won't use this particular felt again for an ornament. I'll be very picky what I do. But to show you how we get started, the first thing I do is I take a cookie cutter and I use an ink stamp, which I don't have with me. It's in the other room. But I stamp it like you would a stamp. And I'm trying to see. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I can see. I stamp it on the ink pad, and then I stamp it onto the felt, and then I cut it out. And I always cut out a bunch of any new ornament I do so that I have plenty of extras, because I always want to do a couple different ones for my video to show you how to do this different stages. So once you have this cut out, then you're going to figure out how you want to decorate it. And let's face it, there's no right or wrong. This one I'm going to do different. I'm going to do probably 4. I haven't decided if I'm just going to do a stripe of 2 or maybe 2 stripes, but it doesn't matter. But I'm going to show you how to start. And first I'm going to show you a stacked sequin, and then I'm going to show you a basic sequin. But let's just say you're starting fresh here, and you're going to tie a knot and come through, and very careful, don't let that knot pull through the felt, because some felts, including this one, it took me a few tries. And then I always go right back through like this, and then I come back, and that secures the sequin when it's a really thin felt, because I want you to use what you have. And if what you have is really thin felt, I want you to be able to use it. But anyway, to do the stacked, what I do is I simply find some different sizes. And on this I had a red 8mm sequin, so I put that on face down. Now I use cupped sequins, and I'm going to see if you can see that there. These sequins are like this. They're cupped, so when you put them on upside down onto the, when you pick them up upside down, that puts them right side up on your needle. And that means the cup is up, so that it's not flat. There are flat sequins. These have a slight cup to them. And you want that cup to go down flat on the felt. And then I used this really pretty hologram gold. And I stacked that on top of the red. Then I pulled a small 5 millimeter actually, and that I think the gold is a 6 millimeter. And then I took a 5 millimeter green to give the third layer. And once I have all the layers on there, I'm going to pick up one seed bead. Now the seed bead is what's going to hold it onto the felt. So once you get that seed bead on there, you're going to go back through all those sequins. And I want to try to line it up so it looks pretty close to what I have on there. And then I'll pull it through. And that'll hold it in place. Now, I'll show you above that how to do a single sequin. So if you just want to know how to do a single sequin, you're going to do the same thing. Tie the knot, come up, go back through, come back up. We're going to pretend we did all that. Then you're just going to pick a sequin. It doesn't matter, whatever sequin you want to use. I'll do something bright red because it'll show up against this. And I'll use a small because usually I use a small. This is a 5 millimeter red sequin and a gold seed bead. Now, you can use the same color seed bead as you do sequin. But same rule applies. You're going to pull it down onto the felt. Then you're going to go back through just the sequin because that little seed bead holds that sequin on. And you're going to pick out your design, how you want to do it, and it doesn't have to be fancy. This one I just did stripes. And you don't even have to do the focal point. You can just do stripes all the way down. And I may make one like that. But you can just do stripes, whatever. You could do just red and green. You could do red, green, and white, red, green, and silver. I did red, green, and gold because I prefer gold to silver on my ornaments. Although I do make a fair amount of the silver as well, depending on what I'm doing. But anyway, once you make your pattern, then you just fill it in. Once it's filled in, now this one's fancier, I do understand that, but once it's filled in, and you can see, and my husband pointed out to me what I did. See that? I somehow caught a sequin on the back. But once you have it done, you will see the stitching will look, I don't know if you can see that. It's very light because it's light pink felt in either white or light pink thread. But see, when you're done sewing, it's almost quilted on the back. See? Okay, then you're going to take another piece. Make sure they're cut out the same. Because when you stamp it, one side will have ink on it and one won't. So make sure when you line them up, because they are never perfect. Your cookie cutters are never perfect. And also, on this one, I didn't want the point. See the point? So what I did is I chopped it down just slightly. So once I get it all lined up, I'll gently cut that little point off because I don't have any sequins small enough to go down into a tiny point. So I didn't want to do that. So once you get it all matched up, then you're going to get your thread. And here I've got a piece of beige thread because, again, that's what I have in the room. I wasn't prepared, and I don't want to walk back out there. So I'm just going to do what I'm doing here. But once you just sew them together, what you do, pick where you want to start. So I'm just going to start right here. And you're going to come up, go in between the two pieces. See? And I'm going to come up to the front. Anywhere you want. You just have make sure there's a little bit of felt on the edge. And I'm going to put that knot in between the two sides. See? And then I'm going to come up from the back and loop it. Because what that does is it takes it from the front to the back, and you'll get a loop, and it holds it tight. Then I'm going to pick, and I'm using gold. Again, I'm tired. I'm not in a very creative mood today. I got about 3 hours sleep last night, so I'm a little tired. But I take three beads on the first stitch, okay? And then you're going to go back into the back again, like when you made the loop. You're going to go back to the back again. Make another loop with the beads on it. And when you pull it down, the one that goes toward the back, see it? You're going to pull, that's the last one. You're going to pull it forward by going up through the bottom. And then what will happen is when you pull it tight, it makes a little triangle. I don't know if you can see that or not. But it makes a little bitty triangle, and these are tiny beads. And then from there on in, you only need 2, So then to keep the triangles going, you add 2 sequins to it. And you're going to go as close as you can, back through both pieces of felt. And you're going to come up, and you're going to go back through the last one again. And it's hard to sometimes see that little bitty bead. And you come up, and you pull it. And the edge will start to form, and this is what the edge looks like. Now here I purposely used a white, which normally if I was making it for a gift or for myself, I would use the same color thread as I did felt. But I wanted you to see that they don't have to be perfect stitches. Sometimes my stitches are real even, and sometimes I have a wild one. But it's just, you see the triangle. See? All the way around. And you're just going to keep doing that. When you get to the end, and I normally would show you in detail, but I do have a basic ornament tutorial that you can go back to see. It's not that far down. But when you get to the end, you're going to have the first one that you did, which you can see is just 1 bead because it's the start. And then when you get to the end, you're also going to have 1 bead there. You're going to add 1 bead and go back through there to make the triangle. And if you go to my basic beading tutorial, that'll be on there and you can see it. So I'm going to edge this whole thing in gold. Now one thing I don't have in here, again, I'm not at home. I'm currently pretty far from home, so I can't run and get anything. So normally I have some, but I don't have it in the room with me. Is a piece of cotton. I love the cotton out of vitamin bottles because it's long piece of rolled up cotton and it's very soft and easy to separate. But you can use the little cotton balls you buy for your bathroom. And what I do is I shred it up, and I usually get, you know, once I get a whole section, maybe like I'd sew from here up to here, then I would gently stuff this whole area. I would just fluff out the cotton and just, you can stuff it really fat. I usually do a very, if you can see here, it's not very fat. It's just a very gentle amount. I don't stuff them very full, but you can. My friend Cheryl Coyote makes the most gorgeous ornaments you ever saw. I'm in awe of her ornaments. And I think I have a video where I showed some ornaments where we traded last December, November or December. She stuffs them really full and I love it. But she does a lot of detail work with embroidery and stuff. But you can do either way. You can stuff them really full, or you can stuff them very gently, which I do. And just stuff as you go. So like when you get, like if you get this done, then once you finish here, if you start where I did, you're going to stuff it when you get to there, then come around here and this is all stuffed. Then you can come to here, then gently stuff this area and then finish it off. And it's, you don't have to stuff it. You could put a piece of smaller felt cut out in there. You could even put a piece of cardboard, piece of plastic that you cut, you know, like stencil plastic. You could do anything you want, whatever materials you have. But cotton is what I like to use. I think it's gentler, and I think, you know, when you are stitching it together and there's cotton in there, you can go through a little bit of cotton. But anyway, so this one I did another technique, and I just was playing around. And I actually made this like 2 weeks ago. But I just used some oat or rice pearls and round pearls that I happened to bring in pinks and whites. And then I used a couple bugle beads and some sequins on the bottom. I will do a video on this when I get home, but I want to have some other colors like gold and silver and stuff to work with, because I'd like to do one like this, but all I have is white and pink, and I really don't want to add white to the Christmas colors. So if I change my mind and decide to do a red, green, and white one, I will do that. But that's, let me set these out so you can kind of see them. That is the ornament for today. I apologize. We never thought we'd be here this long. My husband has gone back because he has to get back to work. I'll be here for a little bit longer. And eventually, you know, I'll get to go home maybe in a couple weeks. But I'm committed to staying here and helping out. And it's been, you know, a labor of love, but it's really exhausting. So I apologize for not getting videos out, but I will make a bigger effort to get a couple more out in the 2 weeks I'm going to be here. But I've got a couple more vintage ornament cookie cutters. I've got a bubble light, and I've got a couple other shapes, including a round one like I've done before. So I'm going to finish the one I started, and then I'm going to finish this one, and then I'll pick something else, make that, and I will do another video. It might only be one before I go home, but in the next week and a half, I should be able to get that done. The door just slammed on me. It scared the stuffing out of me. I did that this morning, and it's the breeze blowing through the window. Anyway, I'm sorry if I'm not myself. I'm very tired. My husband flew home today, so I got up at 5:15 to see him off and never got back to sleep, and I didn't get to bed till 2. So I'm not really myself today. A little bit tired, but I just didn't want another day to go by without putting up a video. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm not giving up my channel. I have no plans to quit. In fact, I've got so many projects at home that I want to do for y'all. I just am not there to do it. So I did bring a big stack. I brought a big stack of felt, you know, like this. I can't put my hands in front, but you know, probably about 6-8 inches of felt. I brought a big stack of felt. I'm trying to get in front of the camera. Big stack of felt. I brought all my different little threads. I did not bring my big spools. I brought all my needles. I brought a bunch of sequins and seed beads, mainly Christmas colors, but I did bring a little bit of pink, some white, some pearls. But I didn't bring, we really thought we were only going to be here a couple weeks, but it's not turned out to be that way. So I would have brought more if I'd known I was going to be here this long. But I didn't bring that many cookie cutters either. So, but anyway, I was afraid that you guys would think I deserted you. I haven't. I've got so many plans for you for the holidays. And by the end of October, start of November, we'll be back on track. I've decided to put my resale business aside for now, other than the crafting supplies and occasional jewelry I sell on Etsy. I don't have the space right now to do my studio both ways. So when our son, it's my husband's son too, when our son moves out in about a year and we have his bedroom empty, I'll pursue it. For now, I'm going to pack up the ones that I want to resell, and stuff that can be sold at a yard sale I'm probably going to sell there. But I will keep a few boxes of it for when he moves out, and then I can set up a proper resale room. But for now, I'll sell my bottle caps. I got poker chips I want to list, dominoes I want to list, and all kinds of vintage sequins and stuff. But my 2 shops are on hold right now because I can't mail anything out. So, and there's nobody who can do it for me because, you know, my daughters would probably do it if I asked, but that's a lot to ask of them. They don't know where my stuff is. They don't know how to print out everything. So I chose to put both shops on vacation. But I'm a little hoarse today. I'm a little tired, but I'm not going away. I'm very excited about my channel still, and I will be back as soon as I can I'm going to get these finished first, and then I will go ahead and make a video on another ornament. And then once I'm home, I'll make a video letting you know I'm home, and maybe showing you a few things I'm going to do. But anyway, that's where we're at, or where I'm at least. And my husband's going home, and our poor dog probably thinks we're never coming back. She's probably given up all hope because we've never been away from her more than a week. I think that was only one time. So it's been a very busy month. So I thank you so much for hanging in there. I really appreciate you guys not giving up on me. And I will be back as soon as I can. Like I said, worst case, mid-October, I'll be back. I'm hoping to have a video up in the next week, though. I really have a lot more time on my hands right now. Things are slowing down a little bit here, so I will have more time to work. So I might very well be able to get another video up pretty quick. So I appreciate you watching. I apologize for the light. I'm sitting in front of a huge window, and I've got a really nice lamp here that I'm borrowing while I'm here. But it's not the same as what I have at home. So one more time, this is the finished ornament that I did. And I'll show you the close-up. This flower here, by the way, came from Michael's. I bought a bag of mixed sequins in a tub. And it was like 10 bucks, and I used my coupon, so I paid 6 bucks. And it has these vintage flowers. It's got them in pinks and reds and greens. Whoops. I'm making a mess here. Reds and greens. That is red. And silver and gold. These are some I separated out of there. There's also some little more modern looking flowers. Big and little. I'll show you one of each in that bag, or that box. Let me see these here. And these also come in all the different colors. They're not as fun as the other ones. But many of these sequins on my tray came from the box. I don't remember if the giant ones did. I bought a bag and I bought a box at Michael's. One of them had up to the big ones, and one of them started at the smaller ones. I think the bag is where I might have gotten the big ones. But these are using, and then the only ones that weren't from there were the holograms. Those were from Cartwright's. And even the sequins I used here in this one were from Hobby Lobby. But these are some older ones I had. So pretty much even the hologram, you can easily, I think even Hobby Lobby has some hologram sequins actually. I'm pretty sure they have gold. I'm not going to promise you that, but I'm pretty sure. But most of these are ones you can easily get at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And I use gold, green, and red, and a hologram gold. They're all semi-cupped. And I'll show you on one of the big ones what I mean by cupped, if you can see that. That it isn't flat. That when you turn it over, it's raised a little bit. And I always turn them with the cup side up, because sometimes the backs aren't finished as nice, and sometimes they are. And sometimes when they're like coated with a shimmery coating, the backs are different color, which can sometimes give you a really neat look. So don't overlook the back. Sometimes I will use them as an accent that way, and other times, well, 90% of the time I use them like this. Anyway, I'm babbling, so I'm going to let you go. We've been on here 22 minutes, going on 23. I'm going to upload this to my computer. It will not be edited because I do not have Movie Maker on my laptop. It's a pretty outdated program, and when I tried to put it on my laptop, it messed it up. So it will not be edited. It won't have a title. Nothing's fancy on this video, as you've probably already seen. No fading in, but I just wanted to get this video up. And once I'm home, I'll be able to start doing my normal videos. So I can't really edit any mistakes out, so you're just going to get it the way it is. So if I made any mistakes, you'll see them. But I will be back soon. Thank you again. I've got the best subscribers. You guys hang in there with me, and I promise you, I am not going away. I am sticking to it. I have not given up my interest in it. I just have other obligations that I'm taking care of right now that are important. And when I'm done with those obligations, I will be back, and we'll have a really fun holiday season this year. I have, well, what did I tell you in that video, like 800 cookie cutters? So we're going to have some fun. So I'll be back soon, and I'm looking forward to getting another video done soon. So thank you again. Bye.